Avatar was such an epic movie that it's hard to imagine a sequel doing it justice. But if there's anybody in the world who can do it, it's the master of film, James Cameron. The fact that so much has changed and advanced since the first movie might be a good thing this time around. Before we head to Pandora, subscribe to CBR and ring that little bell to join our notification squad so you never miss a video. Without further ado, here's why Avatar 2 is going to be even better than the first one.
I started writing the film in '95. It turned out that it wasn't possible to do what I wanted to do.
James Cameron. We all know that when it comes to filmmaking, James Cameron is never content with the status quo. He's constantly raising the bar, and his library of work proves this. When it came time to create the first Avatar movie back in 2009, it took Cameron nearly a decade in order to film the epic sci-fi movie. He had a particular vision in his head and needed technology to go ahead and catch up. This unwillingness to compromise on his vision can be frustrating to excited fans, but ultimately means less disappointment. Avatar was an enormous accomplishment in terms of 3D technology. It's not like Cameron's hurting for money, fame, or recognition. He's clearly a precise and passionate filmmaker. Not only would doing a bad job on Avatar 2 let down audiences around the world, but it would mean Cameron letting himself down. While the first Avatar movie was a big deal in many ways, Cameron was limited to the technology available at the time. But now, technology has advanced so much he can finally pull off some things that were simply impossible back in 2009.
Well, we will send them a message. You tell them Tarak Makto calls to them.
Plot. The sequels to Avatar aren't simply a bid at cashing in on the huge success of the first movie. In fact, James Cameron himself has admitted that the Avatar storyline was originally intended to be a trilogy. There was just so much inspiration and so much to the world of Pandora that it couldn't be contained to just 3 films. The second film in particular had so much material that it was eventually divided up into Avatar 2 and Avatar 3. And this isn't just a cash grab by the studio. Sure, more movies means more chances to pull in more money, but it also means more expenses. We're definitely looking forward to seeing the development of a plot that is so intricate, 3 movies simply won't be enough to do it justice.
And here we go.
Moment of truth. Uh-oh, that's not good.
Underwater. While the world on the surface looked incredible, Cameron was eager to take his story underwater as well. However, at the time, the technology to do underwater motion capture simply wasn't advanced enough to do the movie justice. Cameron was content to bide his time, but now it's time to go underwater on Pandora. We can look forward to all new cutting-edge visual effects, and we're not talking about one single swimming scene here. Some of the story will indeed be set underwater. The challenge is incorporating this creative decision with motion capture technology. These motion capture suits track an actor's movements and then a computer processes that information. In theory, this is pretty simple, but it's quite complicated and doing it underwater only makes it more so. According to James Cameron, his team had to practice intensely to get these scenes to look just right, and in addition to the technological aspects, there's also the strain this puts on the actors. Cameron claims that they've had to undergo 6 months of training to learn to hold their breath as long as possible while still acting underwater.
These actors did not just stand at a lectern and do a voice part.
Cast. Having a fantastic storyline is great, but you need to have the acting talent to pull it off. Thankfully, that definitely isn't going to be a problem in Avatar 2. At the end of the first movie, we saw Sam Worthington portraying Jake Sully, who cast off his human skin to join the Na'vi. And then, of course, there's his partner, Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana, and Neytiri's mother, Moat, played by CCH Pounder. We'll also have Stephen Lang reprising his role as the dastardly Colonel Miles Quaritch. We also have the gorgeous and talented Sigourney Weaver, playing the role of Dr. Grace Augustine, the head of the Avatar program. You'll be glad to know that all of these great characters and talented actors will be back for the sequel to Avatar. In addition, there'll be some new voices and faces added to the cast, one of which is Game of Thrones star Una Chaplin, who plays a new character called Varang. We're also looking forward to seeing actor David Thewlis, although we don't yet know what role he will be playing in the Avatar sequels. Cliff Curtis and Kate Winslet will be playing members of the Na'vi Reef people. Avatar 2 will be a great mix of old and new characters, and we'll get the time to see them really develop over the next few films.
I want to talk to you about the future, the glasses-free 3D future.
Glasses free. Watching movies in 3D can be a totally transformative experience. It offers a level of immersion that traditional 2D films just can't match, but as we all know, the worst part about 3D movies is having to wear those dreadful 3D glasses. However, that's a problem we won't have to worry about when it comes to Avatar 2. James Cameron owns a production company called Lightstorm Entertainment, which has a partnership with Christie Digital. This partnership has been extended to grant Lightstorm Entertainment the use of Christie Digital's new RGB laser projection system. This will make the clearest picture possible and make it possible to watch a 3D movie without wearing 3D glasses. Of course, not all theaters will be able to show it in this format, so make sure you find one where this is an option. Considering we had to wait so long for this movie, we definitely want to see it the right way.
How's it feel to betray your own race?
Villain. All good movies need a good villain. In the first Avatar movie, we watched our heroes fight against the heartless Colonel Miles Quaritch, played by actor Stephen Lang. Quaritch was fiercely loyal to the military and notoriously uncaring about Pandora's ecosystem and inhabitants. At the end of Avatar, it seemed as if we had seen the last of old Papa Dragon, but it turns out that that isn't the case. It's been confirmed that Lang will be reprising his role in the sequels. While some may question this decision, we believe it's a good thing. Seeing characters we already know interacting with different things on an unfamiliar and epic journey is pretty much a recipe for a great series. Imagine if Darth Vader had perished at the end of Star Wars: A New Hope. Colonel Quaritch was a great villain who served an important role in the first Avatar movie. Having him appear in the sequels is a way to make them appear more cohesive, especially considering the time gap between their releases. Diversity. In the first movie, we only encountered a single clan of Na'vi. Considering that what we did see of Pandora was incredible, we can't wait to see what the new movie has in store for us. And we'll get to see all new places, creatures, and situations and figure out their real-world counterparts. We're going to get to experience tons of new masterfully rendered environments, and that just isn't something we get to see every day. We just can't wait to see all new, never-before-seen parts of the planet Pandora.
But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
The Godfather. The Godfather trilogy is one of the most epic pieces of film in existence. These crime films were directed by Francis Ford Coppola and quickly became cinematic classics. As a filmmaker, Cameron obviously knows the gravity of comparing his movies to The Godfather, yet that's exactly what he's chosen to do with his Avatar franchise. While it's easy to get caught up in the beautiful world of Pandora, at its heart, the Avatar movies will feature a generational family saga. According to Cameron, The Godfather helped inspire him when coming up with the plot for the sequels. Sure, these genres couldn't possibly be more different, but they'll end up having more in common than you might think. The parent and child relationship will be explored in a huge way, and Cameron promises it's unlike anything currently out there in Hollywood. Seeing interesting characters, multi-generational interactions, and new dynamics definitely sounds like a breath of fresh air. If Avatar 2 is going to be anywhere near as good as The Godfather, we're definitely interested in seeing it.
$100 billion.
Budget. It's estimated that Avatar cost between $280 and $310 million to make. Then it promptly went on to shatter box office records at its theatrical release. It became the highest-grossing film of all time. The budget for the Avatar sequels is $1 billion. Although that seems like a huge amount, when you break it down per movie, it sounds about right. With the studio putting so much money on the line, these movies have to be hits, or they'll suffer massive losses. The pressure is on to make each sequel fantastic, and Avatar 2 has the most pressure. It's the first Avatar movie in a decade, and it has to convince fans to see the third film. There's so much riding on this movie that there's no way everyone working on this project isn't putting out their absolute best.
But now is no time to mourn. Now is no time at all.
The end of an era. Remember back in the day when comic book fans were the only people excited about superheroes? It seems like superhero movies have been dominating the box office for a long time now, but many think it's only a matter of time before this comes to a screeching halt. Like anything else, Hollywood can be cyclical, and it's inevitable that superhero movies will fade into obscurity for a while at some point. Although it's been a while since Avatar was released, let's not forget how absolutely groundbreaking of a film it was. In the world of the box office, we find ourselves getting tired of these overexposed heroes and looking for something new to sink our teeth into. Avatar 2 will be coming out at the perfect time to really make its mark on the box office. Many moviegoers complain about seeing the same old thing over and over again, but many superhero characters are considered too viable to simply retire. Not only will Avatar 2 be a great movie, but it could lead us to finally seeing some new new material on the big screen.
It's all over.
Nothing's over while I'm breathing.
I kinda hoped you'd say that.
And there you have it. Were you a fan of the first Avatar movie? How do you think the sequels will stack up against the original? Let us know in the comment section below, and please don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.